YTV. Wednesday na naman.
Sabay-sabay ulit tayong mapapa-OL ngayong gabi. Ako po si Kuya Dre.
At ako si Ate Ali. Sasamahan kayong muli dito sa YTV, UTV, Your TV, Season 2.
Ang programa ng mga kabataan, kasama ang mga kabataan at para sa mga kabataan.
Last week, napag-usapan natin ang tungkol sa self-love. At sabi nga ni Ate Lian Rosal, self-love is I love the me that God created.
Mga ka-YTV, mahal nyo ba ang iyong sarili? Ikaw, Ate Ali, mahal mo ba ang iyong sarili?
Alam mo, Kuya Dre, kung i-rate ko siya from 1 to 10, masasabi ko na 7 pa lang. Kasi aminado naman ako na merong mga kailangan kong ayusin at i-improve sa aking sarili. Pero alam ko na mahal ko to dahil kamahal-mahal ako. Ikaw naman, Kuya Dre, do you love yourself?
Kung tatanungin naman ako, Ate Ali, yes, of course, mahal ko ang aking sarili kasi ako yung taong sa sobrang pagmamahal ko sa sarili ko, kailangan ko na siyang i-share sa marami pang tao. So, di ba, kailangan pagka magbibigay tayo ng pagmamahal sa ibang tao, kailangan mapunan muna natin ng pagmamahal ang ating sarili.
Pero Kuya Dre, practicing self-love might be difficult at times because we are the greatest critics of ourselves. We deserve to be loved not only by those around us, but by the most important people in our life. Tayo, ikaw, at ako.
Alam naming nabiting kayo last episode. Kaya naman, meron tayong part 2. We hope that this episode will give you more insight about loving ourselves more.
Kaya naman makakasama natin ngayong gabi si Mr. Joseph Emmanuel Perez, servant and host of Tongues on Fire, a Catholic community of lay evangelizers focusing on an online ministry and aspiring to be a credible source of Catholic content in response to the challenges of the new evangelization.
Paano ba niya minahal ang kanyang sarili? At paano din natin mamahalin ang sarili natin? Tara, sama-sama nating alamin.
Good evening po, Kuya Seth.
Yeah.
Before we start po yung interview natin, gusto ko po first magpasalamat po for the time then that you give the YTV, especially the OL Wednesday segment po for this episode po. And so, same lang po no, karamihan din na self-love is appreciating oneself, identity, kaya din po nang sabi nyo is knowing. So, gaano po ba para sa inyo po, gaano ba kahalaga na malaman natin yung, or matutunan natin yung self-love?
Napaisip ito. I guess it's because it should be at the top of your priority, kumbaga, every day. Of course, not ahead of your love for God, pero kumbaga in terms of loving your earthly nature, it should go first among all the other priorities that you have. Diba? Parang very common saying that we hear is you cannot give what you don't have, right? So parang if you and it's not every day that you can expect the world to like supply your love tank. So and if that happens, obviously kung paano kung isang araw, 'di ba, walang mag-supply ng love tank mo, and you don't know how to love yourself, you yourself don't know how to love yourself. So sino pang aasahan mo, 'di ba? So that's how important self-love is. It's so important that um, when you don't know how to love yourself, it's gonna be hard for others. Well, it's two-way. It's gonna be hard for you to love others, and it's gonna be hard for others to also love you. Kasi wala kang standard, wala kang benchmark na sinusunod. Paano ko ba masasabi na minamahal ko yung sarili?
Tama nga po, no? Kasi di ba naririnig natin palagi yung you cannot give what you can't have. So, mahalaga na natututunan natin na mahalin yung sarili natin at i-prioritize po ito, gaya ng sabi ninyo. Kasi, hindi talaga natin dapat iasa din sa ibang tao yung pagpupuno ng sarili po natin. Aside from sa nasabi niyo po, gaano po ba kahalaga yung self-love sa well-being po natin? Aside from kasi importante siya when we relate or others or we enter some relationship po, be it friends, sa family.
Yeah.
So, in terms po sa holistic po na individual, gaano po ba siya kahalaga?
It's as important as eating, I guess. That's what I can say. In a sense na it should be an essential for it's an essential for everyone. In such a way na if you don't express your love for yourself in one day, it's going to affect everything in your entire in your entire day. Lahat ng gagawin mo, if it's not rooted for your love for yourself, or kung hindi mo iniisip at all yung sarili mo sa mga ginagawa mo on a day-to-day basis, then like I said earlier, it's gonna be hard for you to like really love others. And I think what's important to understand here, because our viewers might say na hindi ba pagiging self-centered yun kapag iniisip mo lang is yung sarili mo. So it's different kasi the difference between self-centeredness and self-love is self-centeredness, sarili mo lang yung iniisip mo. But with self-love, right, you're thinking of others, right, or you're thinking about yourself without compromising the wellness of other people as well, yung well-being ng mga tao sa paligid mo. And that's sometimes it's very hard. Sometimes people would tend to just choose between the two, loving others or loving oneself, right? And when you just love yourself, that's self-centeredness, that's selfishness. When you just love others, then that's martyrdom naman kasi hindi mo na inisip yung sarili mo, right? And it's hindi laging selflessness yung pag-iisip lang sa kapakanan ng iba, right? Sometimes martyrdom siya in a sense na parang wala ka rin namang in a sense na parang you're loving others too much pero nako-compromise na yung well-being mo. That's different, right? But self-love, you take care of both your relationship with others and your relationship with yourself. And there's a balance between the two.
So, vital po talaga as eating food, no? Yung yung process natin and journey natin to loving ourselves. And ayun po, next question ko nga po sana yung how do we differentiate the self-love and selfishness or self-centeredness na nasabi niyo po. Pero ang tanong ko na lang po is, ano po yung mga step para recognize natin kung ano ba yung practices natin na allow sa atin to grow into loving ourselves more and to prevent selfishness. Kasi minsan pag clouded na po tayo, no, hindi po natin naiisip kung ang alam lang po natin is nagmamahal tayo but hindi natin na-recognize na ito is sobra na for other. Ito naman, sobra na for me na hindi ko na iniisip yung ibang tao. So, paano po ba yung mga ways na maiisip or mabibigay nyo po sa amin para mas malimitahan po namin yung pagiging self-centered namin?
Ayun. I guess number one that you can do is look to God first. Look to God first. I mean, there could be a lot of advice that anyone can answer or can give to answer that question. because it's a very broad question to answer. But I'd say the first thing that you have to do really is to look to God. That way, everything. Because sometimes when we and I think many millennials will relate to this. Narinig ko rin to kay Simon Sinek. You can search for him, he's a good speaker. Sometimes we tend to, pag gumigising tayo sa umaga, ano bang unang-una natin tinitignan? Usually our social media accounts, right? So everything is about us. Right? Sino nag-text sa akin? Sino nag-chat sa akin? Sino nag-tag sa akin sa post? Sino nag-comment sa post ko, right? Sino nag-love or nag-heart react sa previous post ko? Everything is about yourself. Anong kainin ko? Ba? Anong gagawin kong sunod pagbangon ko dito? Anong kape inumin ko? Right? Everything is about us. But when we change, if we change that, even just for one day, if we change that from, what am I gonna get from this day to, Lord, what do you want me to do this day? How can I serve you How can I serve you today? How can I love you today? Then your me, yung me mentality mo will stop right there. Right? So I say yun, first thing is to look at God, right? To look at God. How do you look at God? God is not a visible being. You go ahead, you go and pray. Like I said, sometimes, and even myself is guilty of this, madalas pag-gising ko, ang unang-una kong tinitignan is cellphone. Right? Cellphone. Email, messenger, and recently YouTube, no? So YouTube ako nabababad, no? But just to say, how am I gonna be entertained? Yun yung laging, pag-gising ko, yun yung madalas na mantra ko, which is mali. Right? How am I gonna be entertained is a very, very wrong mentality. So I'd say, you go to God, first thing in the morning, you go ahead and pray, right? Next, pagka nakapagdasal ka na, right? Pag nakapagdasal ka na, again, the me mentality stops there because you started your day not by thinking about yourself, but by thinking about someone else and someone higher than, any other being around you. So after that, you wake up, and then you do little things for yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, loving yourself, when you love yourself, if you really love yourself, you're gonna do things for yourself, right? And small things, count as much as the big things in terms of expressing your love. Ano to mga bagay na to? Obviously, ayusin mo yung kama mo. That's loving yourself, di ba? Kasi pag inipis yan, ikaw din naman mahihirapan sa gabi, right? Then you go ahead and, brush your teeth, take a bath, clothe yourself, groom yourself. Now, these are little ways, but sometimes, because it's very routine, natitake for granted natin yung importance ng mga bagay nito, especially when we are so much in a rush to do whatever we want to do on a day-to-day basis, right? So, I'd say, again, first step is you start your day with a prayer, look to God. If you have a prayer time, maybe you can do that in the morning. And then, serve yourself. Serve yourself. Hindi masama pagsilbihan ng sarili. That's loving yourself, no? Kumbaga, that's in a nutshell yun. You serve yourself. Right? Not just yourself, though, that's self-centeredness. But loving yourself is also serving yourself, right? Then after that, eat breakfast, yun, kasama pa din yung doon. And then, I guess what's very important, because the bigger chunk of our days would be spent either in school or at work, right? Or maybe something else. But definitely, the bigger chunks of our day, we're doing lots of chores, right? And what's important to take note of, in this item is, in whatever we're doing, maybe at school, may it be at work, lagi tayong may mga nakasalamuhang tao. And laging maraming nangyayari sa buong araw natin. So, after prayer and after serving yourself, what's important in an entire day is to take care of your heart and your mind. That's very important. In other words, you need to have the right perspective, the right disposition, right? Kasi kung dati there was a time na parang pagpapasok ako sa there was a season in my life na sobrang reklamador ako, na parang pagising ko pa lang sa umaga, init. Pagbangon ko, sa ulo ko, bago ako pumasok, tinatamad ako pumasok. So pagdating ko ng office, ang daming gagawin. Hindi pa ba uuwi? Gusto ko nang umuwi. Right? So So, in other words, alam mo yun, yung buong araw ko sobrang reklamador. But when I had a change of heart and I tried to change my perspective, no, and the complaints have shifted to expression of gratitude, right? Na parang pagkagising ko, and I do this very inconsistently, by the way. There are times na parang, alam mo, nagigiving ka pa rin sa temptation to complain. But there are times naman na parang, you want to do better every day. So parang I sometimes wake up in the morning and thank Lord, thank you for this life. Ay, ganoon lang. Kasi hindi ako sobrang babad sa prayer eh. Hindi rin ganun ka-rich yung prayer life ko, to be honest with you all. But I keep on trying, and sometimes, I tend to, I keep pushing myself in a sense na parang when I wake up in the morning, I always want to make it a point na I thank God for the new day that was given to me. At work, ganun din. At school, ganun din. You need to really have a change of perspective, especially ngayon na sa season of pandemic, na parang lahat na nangyari sa paligid natin is a temptation for us to complain. But sabi nga ng isang worship leader na napanood ko, it's not about your position, it's about your disposition. Your disposition really matters. Your position, when your disposition is okay, when your disposition is correct, your position won't matter anymore. Kasi yung position mo, magbabago yan eh. But yung position means your status, your situation, your alam mo yun, yung current, yung status ko magbabago yan. And it's dependent on the external factors. Ngayon, especially ngayon, yung pandemic season, di ba? Hindi mo alam kailan mag-i-insecure, hindi mo alam kailan katatamaan ng COVID, hindi mo alam kung kailan ka magkaka-symptoms, hindi mo alam kailan ka may expose sa may sanitize. So, ang daming external factors, but your disposition, when you have the right disposition in life, right, the positions won't matter. Your status won't matter. Right? Of course, it affects you, but sabi nga ng isang libro, it only affects you, but it should not infect you. Right? Because you have the right disposition, you know where you stand, you know what you believe in. And so, very important yung perspective. Just to share, I learned that the word perspective comes from two words, per and then specere. Per meaning through, and then specere means to see. So in other words, perspective means to see through, right? And sometimes people tend to just look at, but perspective invites us to look through our situations. Look at, yan lang, kung ano lang yung nasa harap, surface level, titignan mo, ay may pandemic, ay ang hirap, wala na, yun lang titignan ko. Ay wala kaming work from home, kakainis, right? Ay nagka-COVID ako, wala na, ayoko na, bad trip na, right? But when you look through it, looking through it is asking yourself, what is the situation telling me? What is this situation inviting me to do? Or in a spiritual realm, what is God telling me in this situation? What is God inviting me to do through this situation? Anong message ni Lord sa akin? Right? And when you have that kind of mentality, when you have that kind of shift in your perspective, a lot of things around you can tend to change. And it can change for the better. So, yeah, that's very important. Not just in terms of loving yourself, but in also loving others in your relationships, in all the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. So that's 3. Go to prayer, start your day with a prayer, serve yourself, right? Have the right perspective, okay? And then, yung pang-4 siguro is go back to God. Papansin mo yung presentation ko is yung pag-list down ko is a narration of your entire day. You start your day with a prayer, right? And then you serve yourself. You have the right perspective. You should have the right perspective. Why? So that you can serve others. Right? Kasi pag mali yung perspective mo sa buhay, pag mali yung disposition mo, at napuno ka ng maling belief systems, mahihirapan kang pagsilbihan yung iba. And pagdating ng gabi, ikaw din mahihirapan kasi ikaw yung stress. And again, the topic is loving yourself, right? So kung stress ka, na-serve ba yung purpose mo of loving yourself? Hindi. Right? Kasi hindi ka uuwing masaya. Hindi ka uuwing, alam mo yun, feeling loved or feeling cared for. Right? Instead, uuwi kang stress, yung iba depressed, and yung iba ayaw na mabuhay. Right? So, you better start your day with a prayer, you serve yourself first, Make sure you do everything that you can in your power to serve yourself before you go outside and serve others by having the right perspective. And then at the end of the day, you go back to God. You go back to God and, just thank Him for everything that transpired. And then have a good sleep. I guess yun yung panlima. Ito yung I feel like many people, especially myself, tend to take for granted yung oras para matulog. We don't sleep normally nowadays. Our society, this world, we take sleep for granted, and that's just bad because sleep is a gift. Ang pahinga ay, regalo mula sa Diyos. Even God, took a rest on the seventh day after the creation. So who are we to not, receive the gift of rest, right? And so that's very, very important. Have a good sleep so that the following day, if you had a good sleep at night, the following day you can do everything. You can do the same thing, over and over again. So I guess that's how I can say that. So those are the things we can do to express our love for for oneself.
Thank you, Kuya Seth, for sharing about self-love and your self-love experience.
Paano bumahalin ng sarili? By going back to our first love, which is God.
God is love. Therefore, self-love comes from God. Gaya nga ng sabi ni Kuya Seth.
Self-love is not simply a state of feeling good. Kusa itong makikita sa ating mga ikinikilos. Ang mga aksyon na ito ang nagdadala ng maturity sa atin bilang isang tao.
We begin to accept our strength and weaknesses, have compassion for ourselves as human beings, struggling to find personal meaning, are more centered in our life purpose and values, and expect living fulfillment through our own efforts.
Kayo po ba mga ka-YTV? May mga bagong insights ba kayong napulot? Share nyo na ito in our social media accounts by using our hashtag tonight, hashtag episode 7 wonderfully vain, and hashtag Wednesday.
Drop your heart react sa episode natin kung mahal ninyo ang inyong sarili. Wow, Nax! Comment nyo din dito ang inyong natutunan and share natin ang episode natin tonight.
Hello mga kapatid! Dahil nasa pandemic tayo at may social distancing, nabawasan ang pagbibigay natin ng yakap sa ibang tao. Nakakamiss, diba? A butterfly is an Asian symbol of transformation. Ngayon, tuturuan ko kayo ng butterfly hug. The butterfly hug is a method of therapeutic intervention to help and relax and calm ourselves. Plus, if you watch It's Okay to Be Not Okay, yung K-drama, for sure nakita nyo na to. To start, all you need is yourself. First, stand or sit properly. Second, focus on your breathing. Inhale, exhale. You may close your eyes. Cross your hands over your chest or embrace mo ang iyong sarili. Then slowly tap yourself alternating left and right for a few seconds or minutes or gaano mo katagal na gusto gawin hanggang maramdaman mong kalma ka na. Last, be aware of yourself and your breathing again. Inhale, exhale. You can do it as much as you want, anytime you feel you need a break. Mas mahalin pa natin ang ating sarili, kapatid.
Alam namin na marami sa ating mga ka-YTV ang mahilig magluto o mag-exercise. Kaya naman we're inviting everyone to share photos ng mga pagkain na paborito ninyong lutuin for Oral Kitchen or your fitness journey for Let's Get Well. Just send your story or your video directly to oralwednesday.utv@gmail.com.
Please do not message ACY Manila FB page, or you can upload it on your social media account. Use the hashtag Oral Wednesday, hashtag Oral Kitchen, hashtag Let's Get Well. Wait for your food recipe to be featured on our next episode. Together, let's eat and get well.
Love is patient. Love is kind. It is not envy. It is not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. From the first book of Corinthians 13 verse 4 to 5. Anong take home natin tonight? God is love. So to love ourselves is to be aware of love of God for us. Paano bang magmahal? Gaya nga ng sabi sa Bible verse, love is patient. Kung kaya natin habaan ang pasensya natin sa iba, mas habaan natin ang pasensya natin sa ating mga sarili. There are days na di ka mahal-mahal ang ating sarili, pero mahalin pa rin natin ang sarili natin. Dito papasok yung love is kind. We may fail or disappoint others, pero don't be too hard on ourselves. It is not envy, it is not boast, it is not proud. To love is to trust our own timeline. Unti-unti nating bawasan ang ating inggit at pagmamataas natin sa iba. Hindi natin kailangan ikumpara ang ating sarili sa iba because we have our own journeys. It is not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Ang mahalin ang sarili natin ay hindi dapat isiping mababa ang ating sarili. Pagtanggap ng buo sa ating sarili at pagpapatawad sa ating sarili. Love takes time, and self-love may take a long time. But we can start by loving ourselves one day at a time. Mahal ko ang sarili ko ngayong Wednesday. Mahal ko ang sarili ko bukas at sa mga susunod pang araw.
For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. Matthew chapter 25 verse 35. Be a beacon of hope for Metro Manila's poorest of the poor. Sponsor or volunteer for the AJ Kalinga Foundation's programs and help feed our less fortunate brothers and sisters. Now, more than ever, they need you to be their partner in this life-giving mission. Give yourself and make a difference. For more inquiries and donations, please contact Miss Tessam Castillo at 0961 240 8692.
Mga ka-YTV, we are loved. We are worthy. We are enough. Kaya mahalin natin ang sarili natin.
Pakiligin din natin ang ating sarili sa pamamagitan ng pagmamahal sa ating sarili. Next week, let's talk about HIV awareness. Mabigat to, Ate Ali. Let's get healthier, stronger, and better together. Ako po muli si Kuya Dre.
At ako naman si Ate Ali. Samahan natin bukas ang Travel Thursday sa kanilang Summer Getaway episode.
Wow! Dito lang sa programa ng mga kabataan, kasama ang mga kabataan, at para sa mga kabataan. This is YTV, QTV, and your TV.
Mga ka-YTV, gusto mo ba maging volunteer katulad namin? Be part of YTV and ACY family. Please contact ACY Manila FB page for details. See you!
YTV, Youth TV, your TV.